Hello my ghouls, and hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. In case you are new, I'm Katie Culpa. I'm a horror writer. I'm working on writing some books in sort of the paranormal, supernatural genre. I also have some ideas for some monster horror books that I hope to write in the future. And this channel is all about my journey to becoming a published author, while also talking about some of the other things along the way. So today, this video is all about something else that I have been working on that sort of became a side passion of mine as I've been working towards becoming a published author, and that is going to potentially haunted locations and documenting their history, taking pictures and video clips, and that kind of thing. So I thought today we would start with my first two locations that I visited back in, I think it was October of 2021. These two locations, one of them was known to be haunted before the building was demolished, so who knows if the ghosts are still hanging around the area. The other one, we don't know for sure that it was haunted, as we don't have any documented unexplained experiences. However, it is a small church with a cemetery, so you never know. So let's get into the locations right away. Okay, so the first location I'm going to tell you about today is the little church in the valley. This location actually has multiple names, including the Kennel Anglican Church and the St. Nicholas Anglican Church. It is currently located in the Qu'Appelle Valley and sort of the middle of nowhere, if I'm being completely honest, as it wasn't the easiest place to find. And it actually was moved to this location. Originally, the church was built in the early 1900s, but it was actually moved to its current location around 1910-1911. As I said, it is located in the Qu'Appelle Valley, and it is near Craven, Saskatchewan. It is quite a small church, and it only looks like it has one room inside of it, and it has a very small cemetery behind it. And you can tell by looking at the points of the roof and the way the windows are made that it is influenced by the Gothic revival. That is what kind of the architecture looks like. You can tell it's well maintained, as it looked like it had recently been freshly painted when we were visiting. And so it's quite a nice little location to go visit, even if it isn't haunted. Now, of course, we went during the day because we took our 3 kids with us. And since it's in the middle of nowhere, we did walk around the back roads and the gravel roads that were nearby. And we even found a broken down bridge nearby that we went and visited. The interesting part about the broken bridge was that there's even what looks like a door off of some sort of vehicle inside of the small creek that goes underneath it, which makes you wonder what happened. But no ghosts that we could find, and we couldn't hear anything on our equipment, so we just mostly had videos to take. Alright, and then the next location I thought I'd mention today has to do with the Fort San Sanatorium. Unfortunately, the actual building of the sanatorium was demolished in 2017. So we just went to the site to see, what was left. And it looks like all of the buildings are now gone from what we could tell. Unfortunately, there were fences up that were preventing us from being able to really take a good look at the location. We may try to go back in the future if we can get access to the land. But it was a beautiful location to visit. To give you the history of the location, the Fort San Sanatorium was the first sanatorium built in Saskatchewan. It was built in the location that it is because it was felt that the isolated location with a beautiful lake nearby and trees and protection from the Saskatchewan winds was a good place for people with tuberculosis to go and heal and try to get better. It was originally opened in 1917 and it continued to operate as a sanatorium until 1971. It was also the location that returning soldiers from the First World War that had contracted tuberculosis while fighting in the war could actually go to when they returned. So there was a lot of army and veterans that had actually stayed there if they had tuberculosis when they returned. The original site of the sanatorium had 184 acres, and it had 4 main buildings on it: the doctor's house, the nurse's house, the sanatorium itself, and then they did build a new wing onto the sanatorium at a later date. Given how large the sanatorium was, you could hold approximately 360 patients at one time, so it was quite a large location. After it was no longer used as a sanatorium, it would continue to be used by other means. For a while, until about 1991, it was used for a summer art school here in Saskatchewan. And then after that, it turned into a conference center. I believe it was the Echo Valley Conference Center. And that operated until 2004, which, funny enough, my father actually stayed there. And he actually slept in the sanatorium as a part of something for his work. So he actually stayed in it before it was demolished. As I mentioned, unfortunately, all of the buildings have been demolished, with the sanatorium itself being demolished in 2017 after it fell too far beyond repair. So they couldn't keep it up anymore. And those are the 2 main locations that I visited in the Qu'Appelle Valley this fall. As I mentioned, I have been doing more locations since then, and I plan to do a lot more locations with actually live video and interviews with people that have had experiences. And I'm really excited about these, so looking forward to posting videos about those in the near future. So hit subscribe and the little bell so that you can be notified of when those locations go live on my channel. I'll also be posting things about my short stories and about my writing journey on this channel. So make sure you give this one a like. I will also put links below to the articles that I actually wrote about each of these locations in case you are interested. You'll also be able to find on my website the other locations that I've seen so far. Lastly, if you are interested, I will also put a link down below to my newsletter. In my newsletter, you will be the first to know of any updates of upcoming events or book launches or locations that are coming up, as well as getting updates to my articles and my website delivered directly to your inbox. Until next time, my ghouls, thank you everyone.